everyone. It's November 17th, 2019. It's Tuesday. It's Harp Tuesday. Welcome to this edition of Harp Tuesday. And I've been working on some holiday music and thought I would today take a look at this really fun arrangement by Carlos Salzedo from one of his collection of Christmas arrangements. This is his short fantasy on a Catalan Carol, Fum Fum Fum. And he does some interesting things here. Just 2 pages, fairly short, but some interesting different styles of technique. So right at the beginning, he employs this where the idea is that we play the chord, maybe solid, or with a fast break, and the other hand is immediately going to muffle all the notes except the top note of the chord. So we hear that top note ringing through, but this has a very sharp staccato sound. Pretty cool. It takes a bit of getting used to and trying to time it the way we would like to time it in that we'd like these bottom notes to ring a little bit. I think we want to hear them. We don't want to go... If we're too fast, it's maybe too fast, but we also want to make sure that we don't muffle the top note and not too slow. So I guess really, as long as we're not stopping the strings before we actually play, we probably don't have to worry about being too fast. But again, getting that timing down can be a little bit tricky, and certainly some fast in this middle. It's a little bit tricky, just the coordination and the timing, and that whole technique of stopping some but not all of the chords. It's kind of interesting, and one that you could play around with in other arrangements and pieces. I'll mention that on the second line where we reach down, so we have changes things up a little bit. Then this, I think he's got that marked with 2, but I prefer to reach down just with a third finger like this, almost as if I'm playing an open octave. That way I can go and immediately be ready to muffle. You might find that 2 is perfectly comfortable, but for me, I like to use 3 there. And then yes, again, on some of these, it's not so bad when there's a 4th between 1 and 2, but when there's a 3rd, for example, right at the very end of this section, making sure that we try not to stop that G, that we just stop the E. So kind of cool. Then he makes some good use of Harmonics here to double the E with an F flat. And he's got this muffle marked down in the left hand on that A. We could try and go stop it. Again, I would probably use the 3rd finger and then place. A little awkward because then 3 is going here. We could stop it with 2 and then place, or we could place all 3 of these, and I think that's what he's suggesting with that bracket over all of them, that we'll play this and immediately find the next one, so that it's not a separate muffle. It's just that as part of placing that, we're going to hear that A get stopped, and it gives it, again, kind of a staccato sound. And in theory then, the right hand should delay its placement a little bit maybe, so that this A doesn't get stopped, so that we don't hear, but rather, I find in practice I'm generally placing the right hand and left hand together, again depending on how precise you want to try to be there in terms of place and then place. It's still a little bit tricky. We don't have much time to find this anyway. And here I think his idea is that we could slide, or we could play that C and come back down, but this idea of playing the B as a sharp, B sharp, C natural, and then playing it again as a B natural works really nicely, and actually I think is an excellent way to do that there and make it help make it really, really crisp. And here, again, we're trying to muffle these bottom ones. So for me, rather than trying to muffle all of these, I will just repeat, replace. And here, it's just that bottom note. So again, I'll place that with 3. I think he's got these all marked with 2, 1, 2. So maybe we could do it this way, but I prefer to just keep a normal hand position and replace like that. And we do that again. This is fun. And then this, I would be really aware of my elbow and arm. We're fairly high on the harp here at this point, but the fingers are down here, the thumb is up here, and I'm going to want to shift up quite a bit, right, to get this 4th finger on the A, the thumb up there. So I'm really aware of my arm and elbow helping me do that move rather than just the fingers moving there. Just helping to find that jump up. Again, trying to do a quick muffle here. Sorry. And LV, let vibrate. So that's kind of interesting. We've gotten so used to hearing that, and now we get to finally hear that just ring through. Then we get this final time through with these big chords. Nice little slide. Tympanic sound. So that is where you're trying to use the bone of the finger, right, to get that type of sound. Now, first, it's always a little bit scary because you don't want to hit the soundboard with the fingernails, right? Because that can create a mark in the soundboard. And to get that sound that he's looking for, you have to hit fairly firmly. And again, if we get too much flesh, we're maybe not going to get the sound we want, and it can be potentially painful on the fingers, even just that sharp attack. So that's what he means. That's what he wants with that. These days, I learned it that way, but these days I tend to just use my knuckles, right? So we get... It's a little bit harder because I have to do a little bit more movement, I think, to get my knuckles on there. But anyway, just offering some options there. I will mention a little bit earlier when you get... This is all feels quite nice. And then I just have to be really aware of trying to get that thumb in position because it can come as a bit of a surprise. Everything is connected. We just play this big chord. We don't have the luxury of a dotted 8th note there, as we do here. Just a spot for me, at least, where I want to try and mentally prepare for that move to make sure that it's as good as I would like it to be. We get this again. And then, again, he has fun with these enharmonics. So this big, huge stretch, and again, obviously, you could make some modifications if that just isn't feasible for your hands. But instead of a C on top, he's going to keep this B. So the same string each time, B sharp, B natural, B sharp, B natural. So we get back to B natural, back to B sharp, B natural, sharp, natural, sharp. Kind of cool. Quick muffle, B natural. And then this, in some ways, is one of the more awkward bits where, right, we got to play 2, 4, well, 3 is on the string, cross over, 1, 2, well, 1, 4, well, 2 is on the string, and get ready, big jump up, right? We've been here, but it's not right here again, it's, sorry, and jump down again, so 4, and I'm already, instead of kind of this position, I'm already ready to do a muffle, fairly short, sharp muffle there. So anyway, a super, super fun piece to play. Some interesting technique in there, some of these muffling ideas, and some pretty good use of enharmonics as well. So worth checking out. And the whole book, there's some great arrangements in there. Definitely handful of them could be adapted for lever harp, but I think for the most part, they're going to work best or are only playable on the pedal harp. So hope you've enjoyed that. I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Cheers.